Ladies and gentlemen, this is Valerie. Have you ever wondered what would happen if a choreographer decided to tie up his main couple in beautiful pink ribbons? I can hear you now. I have just been wondering that very thing. Well, you're in luck, because today we are going to be talking about the one, the only Ribbon Pas De Deux from La Fille Mal Gardée. This video is long overdue. For the past year and a half, we have sprinkled in here and there little notions of how much we love La Fille Mal Gardée and how it's the cutest little ballet with the cutest little characters and choreography. Yep. But we've actually never done any commentary at all from this ballet. So here it is, long overdue, but better late than never. We're going to be walking you through it, talking you through it. So make sure to give the like button a little tap, and let's go. So I think we'll start us off with a little bit of context surrounding La Fille Mal Gardée. La Fille Mal Gardée is a 2-act ballet choreographed by Frederick Ashton to music by John Lonkberry, amongst others. And the story follows the adventures of Leers and her lover Colas, and all of the shenanigans that come along with your boyfriend being poor and your mother forbidding you to marry him. And this pas de deux that we're talking about today takes place in Act 1, but Scene 2. So this is like the field scene with the wheat harvest and everything. It's really, really cute scene. And this is the sort of a little sneaky pas de deux that they snuck in there while Lisa's mother isn't looking. Throughout Act 1, Ashton incorporated a lot of pas de deux work with the pink ribbon, because what could be more romantic than that? Yeah, Ashton was known for a lot of very creative choreography, and so one of those motifs that he added throughout La Fille Mal Gardée is the whole concept of the pink ribbon. And it's sort of Lise and Colas's, like, it's like their thing. It's their thing, you know, their couple thing. Of course, when they have this grand pas de deux, Ashton really brilliantly incorporates this beautiful pink silk ribbon and all the corps de ballet dancers all together. So it is, yes, it is a pas de deux, but it's also the collaboration of all of their friends and all this pink ribbon, which kind of represents, I feel like, their love and their connection, that community. Yeah, the neighborly community that they have together. Yeah. So it's like not only between Lisa and Colas, but also all their friends. It's just, it's so wholesome. It's so wholesome. It's so wholesome. So we're super, super excited to get into it. The version we're going to be watching today is the Royal Ballet's version. Of course, it's the Royal Ballet's version. Ashton was an English choreographer, and he worked a lot with the Royal Ballet. He worked super closely with the Royal Ballet. So, of course, we're going to be watching the Royal Ballet production. No one was surprised. No one was surprised. But let's get into it. Earpieces are in, we're ready to go. And by the way, the dancers we're featuring today is probably my favorite cast for these roles. And this is, of course, Marinella Nunez as Lise and Carlos Acosta as Colas. They do this so well. And you'll see a little bit as we get into this, but they have a very down-to-earth, sort of genuine sort of take on this role. Yeah. It's not too theatrical, it's not too poised either. It's just very genuine, very candid, and it's just heartwarming. So the Fille Mal Gardée has an interesting layout, pas de deux wise. They have the entree first, and then they go straight into her variation. Yes. And then they have the pas de deux, then they have his variation, and then they have the coda. So it's a very interesting layout, but it's like they just kind of swap things around. But it's still a grand pas de deux. It still is the grand pas de deux of the ballet. Yeah. So let's get into it. So she's just taking her bows after her variation. Take your time, breathe. And here come the girls with the pink ribbons, you guys. And these ribbons are long. Yeah, they're very long. That's so beautiful. Even this first formation is so sweet. Aww. I love this so much. They have this beautiful formation that the girls are making. And then there's Lise and Colas just like playing amongst all the ribbons. I know. It's so sweet. Can you imagine how exacting this must have to be for the girls? You have to keep all of your spacing exactly perfect in order for this to work. Yeah, because if one of the ribbons is drooping, like a little slack, more than the others, then it kind of looks off, you know? It does. So for the corps de ballet girls, it has to be very, very exact. And you'll see how imperative this is going throughout the entire pas de deux. It really is a team effort. But one thing I love about the pas de deux, and as we go on, you'll see that the choreography is surprisingly simple in terms of like what Lise and Colas are doing, you know? But it's just because of all of the ribbons and the formations themselves, it doesn't feel like it's lacking. You know, it doesn't need much to be beautiful. It's like less is more sort of mentality with this one.
And watch the girls all move back the same amount.
Crazy.
Incredible.
Very nice.
And like we were saying, the pink ribbons is almost like, you know, they're a bond.
Yeah.
And so you can see that it's their friends supporting them. And they're like, you know, we're behind you, we're rooting for you. It's very, very cute in that way. She goes, come on, let's go.
It's so cute. Here comes the magnum opus
Oh, yes.
of the entire Pas De Deux.
Here we go.
He lets go, and she's left in the middle balancing.
And the girls have to run around her, and they're basically propelling her to make that turn.
That is just like sweetness overload right there. Oh my
it's
gosh.
so pretty.
That music, the way it swells that whole time when she's up here balancing. The music is just so dreamy and so romantic. I love it. I can't get over it. But let's analyze this balance. This is a really cool choreographic element that I don't think I've seen anywhere else in the ballet rep at all. So watch the setup of this. So he has to make sure he gives her the ribbons with the exact amount of slack on the other hand. See, she has to make all the ends meet. And that makes so that all the girls around are gonna be the perfect distance, one from another. And then here, he turns her one full turn to create that sort of tension that's needed.
And if you watch her hand as well, like she has to twist it so that everything stays solid. So there's no ribbons that are going to slide out because her balance is going to be supported corporately by all these girls.
All of the girls.
And of course, it's a lot on her as well. She has to hold her balance.
You definitely have to hold yourself, but a lot of it is definitely on the 8 quarter ballet girls that are running around. Speaking of the quarter ballet girls, if you watch them as they start this, they have to be really carefully watching their opposites. So meaning like the girl that is like directly across the circle from them. And they have to make sure that they're going together in a solid line. And then they have to keep the distance between them and the one in front. So there's a lot of different moving pieces that have to all work together to make those happen.
Look at that.
But ultimately, it's teamwork that makes the dream work. That's beautiful.
And they pull the ribbon away as well as she lets go. So it has that
sort of exploding effect.
If she just went like this, it might not have the same trail. It might just like fall.
Yeah, it'll just fall.
So it's all in the girls' timing. That big note. Da, 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 da.
It's a whole corporate work.
Yes, from the conductor to the corps to the dancers, everyone's connected, like the ribbons.
Exactly, and that's kind of what is so special about this Pas De Deux is because you can see that unity that is so inherent with ballet in itself. Because ballet is a corporate art form, you know, and those ribbons kind of bring attention to that in a very beautiful way. It just symbolizes that sort of unity. It's just really, really sweet. Anyway. So beautiful.
It's so perfect.
Take note of all of the formations that the quarter ballet girls do with the ribbons. Here they make X's. Put a pin there. It'll make sense in a bit. Very Ashton choreography. That line when they're here together. You'll see that in the dream as well. It's very, very Ashton.
So they're just smiling at each other. They're just so happy to be there together with all of their friends around them, supporting them, and they're just so in love. You can see that in the way they look at each other and the way they have such genuine smiles. I feel like for dance, you need a lot of different kinds of smiles.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
This is for our young students out there. When your teacher tells you to smile, it doesn't mean just like picture smile. You know? Like if I were taking a selfie or like a picture with Jordan, I'd be like, you know. But you don't always want that. There are sometimes you have to practice different sentiments in a smile.
Yeah.
And as you can see when they look at each other here, it's not a flashy smile, but it's a very sweet, very sunny smile.
Every actor or actress, and dancers are part actor and actresses, you need to be practicing your faces in the mirror. You have to, and that's gonna give you the extra edge when it comes to performances. And it's not just how much you show your teeth either. You know, you add a little sparkle in your eye. You can smile from this part of your cheek. You can smile from this part of your cheek. You know, like there's different ways you can smile to convey different emotions and stuff. And a lot of it is just genuinely feeling that for yourself. So practice, you'll get used to it. I don't think it's prioritized enough in young dancers training nowadays, but if you really want to have that storytelling ability and that quality on stage that really gets the audience enraptured with your performance and like really bring them along on that story, practice your expressions in the mirror. It'll help you a lot. This has been a PSA. Let's move on.
Like, even the way she kind of looks down a little bit.
It's kind of shy.
Yeah. And then she looks up at him like, oh.
It's very cute. I love that lift there.
Gorgeous lift.
And at the end, very genuine, very welcoming, you know, it's very sweet. Another thing I want to highlight here is just this lift here. It's just a lift that looks so circular, and there's something that's different when you go up into that lift and it's just like a static position, he turns you around and puts you down, then when it's a whole circle. So he caught her momentum going up, and then she followed his momentum by not just holding that leg at the same height the whole time, but she kind of drew that line in that circle with her foot. It's really beautiful how she does it. You watch this foot.
Yeah,
she brings it down. It's not just she holds it until she gets to this corner and then comes down. Yeah. She follows this and she's already coming down.
Yeah.
And it makes that lift look connected, and it makes it feel overall just easier.
And Carlos lifts her like a breath of air too. It's not like a shoot up.
Yeah.
It was like just a woo.
It was a float.
Yeah.
It was a float. Carlos was one of the best dancers ever. Yeah. Marinella too. And so putting them together was absolutely magnificent.
Just makes sense. Oh,
beautiful. Again, such simple choreography, but it's unique. These little looks, Ashton uses this a lot in his choreography.
Oh, gorgeous attitude line.
Lovely, lovely.
Wow. Just look at his tiny change of expression when he looks back at her.
Tiny change of expression.
This is art, you guys.
This is true art.
No, watch. His little smile when he looks back at her. You can tell exactly the moment where he meets her eye contact.
It's subtle, but it's so easy to read.
The little shoulder, like,
oh, it's for you. And now, remember those X's the girls made a little while ago? Now they make O's.
Oh, so cute. Honestly, though, having all the girls be so perfectly in time and in place, that's such a feat in itself, because we've talked about props before and how it's so hard to get them to cooperate. So to get 8 girls
and 8 ribbons,
8 ribbons, the same length at the end, same amount of margin, it's like 8 girls had to memorize, okay, we need 1 foot of length at the end on the left hand for this count, so that we can slide down, and we'll have 6 feet on the end. I had to work so hard to memorize exactly everything that needs to go on to make all these simple shapes happen. So Corps de Ballet girls, honestly, they did so good.
I like to think of this shape that's like Cupid, the bow and arrow.
Oh,
isn't that cute?
Oh, I see it. That's so cute.
It's cute. And then at the end, the girls dropped the ribbons like they shot the arrow.
I see it.
Is that cute?
Oh,
is that not cute?
I didn't see that before. Wait, let me watch it again. Oh, I see.
Is that cute?
Like, a little. Even just look at this end pose, you guys. It's so candid. The whole pas de deux tied in so perfectly with their acting style, their portrayal of the characters. So when they hit that end pose, and it's so candid, they're literally just like
looking off into the sunset, just like
so cute.
It's a cuteness overload. I can't.
It's so cute.
This is so cute. Alright, that was your summer romance to hopefully make your day that much sweeter.
Maybe this video has convinced you that summer is the most romantic season.
Maybe it has.
But anyway, we want to give a huge shout out to the Royal Ballet, the Court of Ballet, and also Marinella Nunez and Carlos Acosta.
Please tap the like button for all the dancers because they did such a brilliant, exquisite job.
If you have not gotten your fill of ballet commentary yet, then there is a whole playlist up here dedicated to all the ballet commentaries we've ever done. So please go check them out. I think you'll have a lot more fun there.
And of course, if you don't want to miss any of our future videos, then feel free to subscribe.
Anyway, I think that is all from us for now. This is Ballet Rain signing off. Until the next video.
Bye.
Make sure to give this video a like, a little heart. Is it a heart? It's a thumbs up.
A thumbs up.
Oh.
A big thumbs up if you're a real influencer.
Give this video a big thumbs up.